particularly in wool. They're very durable. But even the long stitches, and if it should get used, well, then just replace it. You know?
That's right. That's right.
More creativity. So.
Well, June, before we run out of time, because we have so much information to cover with you, I want to get to your newest book, but everybody, I want to let you know, because, you're going to send me emails yelling at me and say, you cut it off. Okay, June's going to come back, guys, I promise.
I will. I have a lot of stories to tell. So.
But I want to get to the new book, which is Colorful Stitches for Over-Dyed Threads.
Well, you have to see me standing here doing a little happy dance, because this book has done better than I ever anticipated. When I printed it in January, I anticipated that we would be in second edition probably by Christmas of 2010. It's spring, and we are anticipating a third publication of it. We are doing that well with the book. It was a story that needed to be told. John from Rainbow Gallery, a guest that you had on your show a while ago, asked me last year to do a presentation for the National Needlework Association on threads. And that's a very complex project to anticipate, because by the time you open your mouth in a lecture or you put your first word on a piece of paper, the thread industry is changing. And so it's very challenging to do that kind of program. So as I began to prepare for my class, I also got inspired to write a book. The story about over-dye threads was fascinating. First of all, it's a project that almost could date back to the 1700s, because the girls that are, and most of them are women, who are doing the hand dyeing are doing it in the very old-fashioned way. The threads that they are using are green and sustainable, again, a marvelous part of the story, and they do just magic on a canvas. So as I began to research, I thought, no one is telling this story, and the book evolved. So a good third of the book is the research that I did, telling you the story about threads and the different terms that we use. The most common word is overdye, but if you want to be technical, overdye is really a base colored thread that has an additional color placed on the top. But that doesn't apply to all the threads, and yet we apply that term to all of them. So that was one of the first things. I didn't tell any secrets about that were company privileges, but I certainly learned a great deal, and then I shared that in the book. Plus, the last two-thirds are fabulous new stitches to use with those overdye threads, very powerfully on the canvas.
Wow. All right, guys. This is the new must-have book for your shelf.
Absolutely. If you don't have it, you're missing big time. Big time.
And, of course, you can always get it here at Gun Stitching.
Of course.
But, again, what do we do, guys? We support our local shops. So if you spend your money, all your hard-earned money at the shop down the street from you, I want you to walk into that shop. And I want you to say, I need this book. I heard this lady, this McKnight lady. I don't remember, but she's got a new book, and I need it. Get it for me.
Actually, I've become a brand, kind of like Martha Stewart. When you mention June McKnight, people know it. See, I've been around so long that helps.
You're not that old, June.
I'm not. No, but I just have a lot of experience.
Well, you know what? With 14 books under your belt, you know what? You have instant name recognition.
And a lot of teaching. I think that's part of it. I've been on the road doing a lot of teaching through EJA and ANG, but mostly through shops. I support stores like yours. And because of that, I've become a recognized name. And the books have been out, for a long while. And they're very distinct in their format, so that helps. I think, too, that I've been teaching at the National Needlework Association, so shopkeepers know me, and therefore they take my name on the road, as it were, as well. So that's part of it. If you love what you do, it just bubbles forward, I think. So, indeed, and I really do love what I do.
Well, June, I have a very tough question, I think. And I didn't tell you I was going to ask this.
Uh-oh.
But aside from your newest book, okay, so we're going to take the newest one.
Right.
Out of contention here, okay? So we have books 1 through 13.
Okay.
Is there one that's your favorite?
Oh,
and
gosh.
The reason I left out the newest one is because, like anything else in our lives, usually the newest is the favorite. So we're going to take out the newest one.
All right. I have to tell you, it's a little bit like asking a mother which is her favorite child. But I think if I were to select one other than my colorful book, it probably has to be the Bargello. And the reason is it was my first attempt at a full color book. And that was a goal set for me back in the 90s when I talked to Diane Nierheim from Needlepoint Inc. and said I wanted to do a book. And she said, oh, don't bother about color. You know, that's too expensive. And it was at that time. But technology has come forward so much that now I could do a colorful book. And with the beautiful slick paper and the gorgeous pictures, that's the one that was my second most favorite, I think.
Well, I think I have to agree. I love that book. We use it quite a bit here at the store. So it has become my favorite reference.
And the Bargello does not have to be a whole pillow. It can be used with very delicate thread, used as a background. There's one in particular that looks like clouds, and that has been used a great deal as a background on projects. So when we think of Bargello, we think of it as the old mucky pillows that our grandmother used to have in her house. It doesn't have to be that. All of those patterns done with a very thin thread can be used as a background as well. And as I said, in the color, you really get the inspiration of what it can look like. So
That's
that
right.
would be my most favorite, other than the newest one.
Which is Colorful Stitches for Overdyed Threads.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, I know everybody out there, the other question that I'm getting from everybody here is, does she have a website? Well, guys, the website is not ready yet, but probably within the next month it will be up and running. So June, I'm going to give everybody your site so they can check back to it, which is www.junemcknight.com. That's JUNEMCKNIGHT.com. And we will keep June's website on our running list of our favorite places. And this way, you know, when you get the newsletter and like a month from now and you go, wait a second, maybe I can find out more about her books, you'll be able to open it up. And we'll see. By then, you know, June is hoping that the site will be up and running.
We've had some tech difficulties, not the least of which is that our provider went bankrupt thanks to the economy, and so we are sort of floundering at the moment. But trust me, we are working hard to get it up ASAP. So the one thing that, June, I'll tell you that is really across the board in the needlework industry is we've all been through our own little personal website hell at one time or another. We really have. We want to thank you, June, for joining us today. And again, everybody, I promise you, June will be coming back and joining us another time to tell more fabulous stories. I'd like to be regular.
Talk more about her books. But before we run out of time, we have to start talking about the contest because, this happens every time we're together, and, we just don't have enough time. 3 weeks ago, we spoke with Miranda McGahey, who, incidentally, owns Weeks Dye Works, which is probably one of the people you spoke to when you were doing the research on your book, June.
Absolutely, I did. She was wonderful.
Well, Miranda, the winner of her contest, will be getting a selection of those overdyed threads, which would go perfect with June's new book.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. And remember, when they ask where you've been, tell them you've gone stitching.
You can't buy